So I'm going into town to see Robbie. Robbie's the homeless guy who's featured in a couple of my bits of videos in the past. Very nice chap. Only talked to him a little bit in the past. He's living on the street in a tent, and the tent has been... He's the guy who got the tent set on fire recently. I saw a guy yesterday asleep on a sleeping bag, and I thought it was yourself, but that's not where you are. Sure, it's not.
No.
So where are you?
I'm sleeping next to where that guy was sleeping with the sleeping bag in McDonald's on Henry Street, and the guy with the sleeping bag is sleeping in the doorway at JD Sports.
Do you stay in hostels often?
I was in a hostel until, I don't know whether to say that it's not, but until your man blew his head off inside there, you know what I mean? But it took me, I was on the streets of Cork for
You were in that hostel?
Yeah, I was on the streets of Cork for 7 or 8 months, and I never slept in a bed until I came to Dublin.
So are you saying the hostel, you're worried about hostel life because of the aggression?
Yeah.
Would that be right to say?
Yeah, like the hostel I was in, there was a fella in there for the...
That was the one up in Parnell. That's the one quite recently.
Only about 3 or 4 weeks ago,
yeah. You were in that hostel?
Yeah, I was in there when the off and everything.
What was that like? What was that like for you?
To be honest, I actually didn't hear it. And so my girlfriend was just gone out the door, and she didn't hear it either. And then all the staff came up and were like, "Oh, there's a fire thing or whatever." And then it came out that your man had a in his room, and it blew up or whatever, and it blew him up as well.
Tell us a bit about yourself first.
I don't know what.
Where you're from Cork, you told me that.
I'm from Cork, from West Cork, Clonakilty, and I come from a good, strong background, and I have 2 children, and when my relationship finished with their mother, I brought me to the streets, then I lost myself.
And when was that?
Nearly about 3.5 years ago, but I only fell into addiction about 2 years ago, nearly 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
But that a lot of how I fell into addiction was a lot of my children that had not they weren't the cause of it, but it numbed the pain and took away my thinking of it all. When they're on my mind constantly
What calmed your mind a bit?
It numb what's going on, and then when whatever when you're not after any drugs, you say, or whatever, it'd all be there, but then when you take heroin or benzos or whatever, it takes your mind off it, you get me? But
stops you being stressed out.
Yeah, and then when you don't have anything or whatever, when you're having a bad day and you don't have anything in your body, it's, what way can you say it, the pain will be there constantly then, but I take the drugs then because it takes it away, it eases my mind, it takes my mind off it, but literally when you don't have anything, it's reality then again, and the drugs are just to numb the pain really.
Do you see a time, and I would think being on the streets is more difficult to not be around drugs anyway, would that be right?
Yeah, well, I want to go into treatment and get my life back together.
Are you trying to get into treatment?
Yeah.
I'll have a word with you about that in a minute. I might be able to help you with that.
If I literally had my next fix there, sitting there, and there was a van there, and they said, and I was not after anything in my body or nothing, and they were like, give me what you have and we'll take you now, I'd hand it over and I'd go, you know what I mean?
So if you had a place in a treatment centre, you'd take it?
Yeah, if I had it, literally, if the offer was there right now, I'd go, as in, I'd be gone straight away.
Tell me something, if you were offered housing now, would you take it?
Well, I would take it, but I'd rather go to treatment and come out and then go to housing.
If now you were, I don't use the word clean, because to say someone's clean, that means they're dirty when they're on drugs, so you're not clean, but say you were off drugs and you were homeless.
Yeah.
If you were offered accommodation, would you take it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%, yeah. If I was off drugs and on the streets of course I'd take it.
So the way forward that you're seeing at the moment is get yourself sorted and eventually get accommodation. But if you're offered accommodation, you're telling me you'd take it.
I'd still take it, yeah.
See, there are those who think that you just don't want that, that you're choosing this over.
I'm not choosing this life. I don't want this life living on the streets and things like
so
that.
why is there not a home for you now? Why is there not homes available for people on the streets at the moment?
I don't know, because I don't know, is it because people like judge, people think that they're all homeless people on drugs or something like that? Like, I don't know, really. Like,
Possibly.
because a lot of people do, like, you know, you could be homeless and like the old fella that you see in the sleeping bag down there, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs or nothing, and he's on the streets, like, you know what I mean?
I've talked to a few people who weren't on anything on the streets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have some friends around the area.
Yeah.
How long are you in Dublin?
I lived on and off in Balbriggan for between 8 and 9 years. Then when I was back in Cork, and I'm up here now nearly 2 years on and off the streets, in and out of hostels.
Do you miss Cork?
Yeah, I'd love to be back on my family, really.
You'd love to be back in Cork? Hopefully it works out for you, huh? Hopefully it works out for you. Is homelessness a lifestyle choice?
Lifestyle choice? No.